Previously on Rain Man. It ran through the mud, and now that's what people are going to remember this nomination for, is Dick Poop. Even, I guarantee you, during the Oscar ceremony in next few weeks, this is going to come up again.
It stinks for him.
Oh. Oh.
And Richard Lenshowski for Ida. Dick Poop. Dick Pope.
She recovered quickly as much as she could, but too late.
She chuckles.
Yeah.
Of course. I would feel stupid. Where's
Like,
you?
run.
And a lot of the dialogue is...
Why is it wrong to be white? Why is it wrong to be white, Tony?
I don't know.
Why is it... That's the new thing. It is wrong to be white.
Oh.
If you're white, you can't have an opinion without... You can't...
You're automatically racist.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not white, man. It's actually kind of tough. I'm not going to lie here, but it's actually tough. But I had a discussion with a white associate of mine, and he says, man, it sucks to be white right now. And he says that he's been... If
you disagree to, especially towards any sort of minority, the first thing that people say, because you're white, you're racist.
You know, usually it's not even the black people that say it. It's Sharpton. Al Sharpton and Reverend Jesse Jackson are like two of the only few black people actually bitch about it.
You know, like
it's just to me, it's inciting racism. Al Sharpton gets out there, starts inciting racism because it's all white.
What has he really done?
But Michael Jackson's oldest son, I believe, is like, I guess they're best friends, him and Bieber. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's interesting.
Only bad can happen from this point.
Yeah. Do you think he's all like he's friends with him because like he saw like a to-do list on his dad's wall that Bieber was on that list, so he thought like
why was my dad so obsessed with you?
My dad had you on a to-do list. He had like Elijah Wood and the kid from Home Improvement's crossed out, and you weren't crossed out. So I'm assuming that he just figured this was a list of friends, of people that I should hang out with when he passes.
And now, from the Cave of Wonders and recorded live in the presence of gods, welcome to the Rain Man Show.
Hello, everybody. Rain Man Show. Rain Man Digital. Second week of 2015 back in the studio. It's a lot different in here. Every week, Tony, have you noticed there's something new in here?
Yeah. You know, I like how the decor's really coming about.
I got some good diffusion up. Some diffusion, as they call it, to help stop reverb. So I got Maggie's corner all fixed up. So now when she laughs, it doesn't reverb off and basically echo.
It really is coming around together.
Yeah, it's coming good. And it's sad because right when I'm just about done with this studio, the opportunity has opened up to actually purchase or rent out a bigger studio.
So you'll redecorate there as well.
So we'll have two. We'll have this one here at my home studio, which is, I like to call it's funny because people are like a home studio, and then they come and walk in and they're like starstruck. Like Andrew Spindler, he walks in, he's all like, holy damn. He's all, this is a studio. And I'm like, hell yeah, man. Yeah. So now we're going to have to redo everything all over again at a bigger location, which it'll be fun. It'll be nice to have a place that, so for example, when the cons are in town or whatnot, we can have, celebrity guests at an actual location so they don't feel uncomfortable, coming to my home, or I don't feel comfortable. Because, what if I want Steve Amell to come over from Arrow and he's a psychopathic killer? We don't know.
Yeah,
Just because he's an Arrow doesn't mean he's not a psychotic person.
Like they say, you don't want to invite the vampires in. That's how it usually is.
Yeah, we don't know how well that resending invitation works. I mean, does the resend invitation actually work as the lore dictates? I mean, will they go flying away like Bill Compton and True Blood when I rescind your invitation, and then they take off flying back?
That's the best.
But can you imagine if Stephen Amell came in, you invited him in, and next thing you know, he's trying to convert you to like some strange religion?
Or he's plowing my girlfriend. I'm like, what the hell, dude? I think she might be okay with that.
Yeah.
She'll, oh, Steve Amell me. Oh, man. So I did the first thing I've ever done in my life, and I purchased some... actually, I sent Maggie to go do it because I wanted to talk about it today on the show. She went to go pick up some zombie Zin wine. Have you seen that at the stores? Yeah, it is chuckle-worthy.
Zombie Zen wine.
Yeah,
It's actually pretty good.
I feel like a chump, like kind of like falling prey to
The
marketing and campaign.
That's the thing.
Marketing campaigns. But I did. I mean, I saw it. I saw it on TV. I've been seeing a big, strong push in advertisement for Zombie Zen, which basically it's a Zinfandel wine, but it's cleverly titled Zombie Zen, and it has a zombie on the label of the wine.
The only thing that worries me is that it could be like someone's idea to put in Mad Dog 2020 into like an empty bottle, relabel it, and say, "Hey, here you go.
Here you go.
Bottle's much more nicer."
Here you go, Walking Dead cronies.
Yeah.
Take that. Buy it. You know what? And people would probably do it. I mean, look at True Blood. We just talked about rescinding.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
About rescinding invitations, but they had a really cool campaign going on for the first 2 or 3 years of their show when they were real at the height of their show, and they sold actual True Blood. To this date, nobody can tell me what it is when they bought it. It wasn't wine, but it was a drink that was like a sweet drink.
They sold it at Atomic Comics.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Did you ever drink any?
I bought a couple bottles.
Did you drink it?
Yeah.
What does it taste like?
It's blood orange.
So is it soda or is it just like a sweet drink?
It's more or less like I think marketed back then as a energy drink.
Oh, okay.
But
Vitality, just like blood, supposedly gives you when you drink it.
But really the selling point was like, hey, it's True Blood made from blood oranges.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hey, I'll try this. Wait, it tastes like really syrupy, like
jism.
Gatorade or something like that.
If you look at the fine print, it actually says made from real vampire semen.
But you know what?
Bloody semen.
Geeks ate it up at the comic book store. Like, I got to get that.
Listen, I'm not necessarily a geek. I am a bit. Some things I would buy it. I was gonna order it when I was really up on True Blood, and I was like,
I bet you could find it on Amazon.
You think?
Yeah.
Maggie, Google that real fast if you don't mind. Google. See, that's why I put a computer in front of these people now. Like I put one in front of Ryan and her both. So I'm like, Google. Because that's what we've been missing on this show is someone to quickly search things up. It reminds me of the good old days when Maggie used to run social media. Life was easier then. Yeah.
No, but I bet you could find all sorts of even outdated drinks on Amazon.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Did you
can
find
buy
it?
it on Amazon.
How much is it for a case of True Blood?
4-pack is $249.95.
Are you a 4-pack?
Yeah.
We were underselling those things back then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's over now, so.
Well, I think I'm going to just stick with my Zombie Zen wine for $10.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's pretty cheap, too. I mean.
Where do you find those?
Circle K.
Oh.
That's really classy there.
Yeah.
I went to the regular store, and it wasn't there, and then he saw it at Circle K, so I went to Circle K, full stock.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? They didn't have it at the actual wine place, but they had it at Circle K. That should tell you something if it's quality. Hey, listen, I'll give you a full review by the end of the show because I'm drinking it right now while we're broadcasting.
It was tasty.
Yeah. What place can you go and drink on the job? Isn't that great? We used to do it for Men in the Lives. We all used to. I mean, Seth. Remember Seth, dude? He used to drink an entire a full case of beer
24 beers by himself.
By the end of it was a 4-hour show, so it is a long time.
That explained that weird concoction cocktail that he would always talk about.
Semenology.
Semenology. There you go.
Yeah. Well, you had to be drunk to actually want to read that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And listen to it.
Yeah. But a listener sent me a lot of messages from listeners. I'm trying to catch up because we got a lot during our break. But somebody sent me this article. I'm sorry if I don't remember who you were. If you want, tweet me at Michael Flores _Flores and let me know it was you. But new police radars can see inside homes.
How is that possible?
Shower?
That's basically what they're saying. You remember the TSA scanners that can actually see your penile area.
Okay, yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, you can actually see the size of your genitalia.
And boobs.
It's sort of like that one scene in The Dark Knight where Batman turned all the cellular phones into like sonar, and next thing you know, you could see inside buildings.
Well, this is pervert Batman that did this, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, then. Where could I get this police radar?
I'm Batman.
Hey, maybe I could find it for Price Electronics or maybe Radio Shack.
I'm not the hero you need. Oh, yeah, but I'm the hero you're going to want when I force myself into your house.
So does it work?
Well, Washington, this is from the USA Today, it says at least 50 U.S. law enforcement agencies have secretly equipped their officers with radar devices. They use the word secretly equipped. So, I mean, are they really going to announce? Do they announce like technology that they use recently? They're like, hey guys, by the way, starting next week, we're going to start using a new type of scanner.
They're not going to do that.
So, I mean, I wouldn't really agree with the secretly. I mean, you just
Obviously,
don't.
It's not that secret.
Yeah, the police department doesn't release a press release when they have, hey guys, just let you guys know, we're going to go ahead and release a new type of radar. So, all right, everyone have a great day. They're not going to waste the airwaves for that shit.
Yeah, tomorrow they'll announce we're equipping all of our officers with lightsabers.
Yeah. Jesus. Now that would be press worthy.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. And also cameras to make sure, on the, vest cameras to make sure the police aren't using the lightsaber to just chop people randomly. Because I come on, I would do that. I'm just like, what doesn't matter. Forget the taser. I'd just be like side hitting everybody with lightsabers. Like, get down on the ground. Get down on the ground. Officers with, so secretly equipped. They're officers with radar devices that allow them to effectively peer through walls of houses to see whether anyone is inside, a practice raising new concerns about the extent of government surveillance.
Wow.
Those agencies, including the FBI and the U.S. Marshal Service, began deploying the radar systems more than 2 years ago with little notice to the courts and no public disclosure of when or how they would be used. The technology raises legal and privacy issues because the U.S. Supreme Court has said officers generally cannot use high-tech sensors to tell them about the inside of a person's house without first obtaining a search warrant. Well, that's a given, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get a search warrant to look in someone's home. So why then would you develop a technology that actually shows you, shows you what's inside?
They're looking for ISIS.
You know what? You joke, but
no, I know. It sounded funny, but actually
sounds like a real excuse they would use.
Really, yeah.
Or immigrants.
Yeah, no, they don't care about them no more. My people are allowed to be in without any problem.
Is there like a certain aura that illegal immigrants give off? Like there's a special radar for like illegal immigrants. Like you wave. Like all of a sudden the radar becomes like brown or something like that, brown light.
So instead of like a heat signature,
there you go.
It's a brown signature.
It'll be like Predator.
So racist.
But no, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
What would be the primary reason that the police need to look into your house? That's the big question. I mean, what?
Because they don't want to have to worry about getting search warrants.
There you go.
And you know what? And yes, don't break the law. You don't got to worry. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, listen, I'm all for one about, hey, listen, abide by the law. But listen, my home is my sanctuary. I don't care if I'm breaking the law or not. You will not come into my home without a warrant. And if you do, guess what? I have a shotgun. I'm going to sound real redneck here. I have a shotgun and a couple swords that behead you and shoot you afterwards.
Oh, really? You too?
Oh, yeah. I will get all ninja on them.
If it was used properly, I could see how they could benefit from it.
Yeah.
Like if they had to go have the SWAT team go swarm a house or something, they can tell exactly who's inside and where they are. Yeah. So that's a plus.
And that'll save lives. Also in like occasion, like a hostage.
Exactly.
Hostage
there you go.
situations.
Yeah, there you go.
Hostage situations would make perfect sense.
That would be almost perfect.
But
like
can we
in a perfect world,
can we trust
happen.
These 50 U.S. What was the exact terminology here?
Can we trust law enforcement?
50 U.S. law enforcement agencies to abide by the laws.
That's you hit it right on the spot. Can we trust them?
Yeah, I don't.
Or can they trust us?
It seems a bit scary to me, honestly.
It's obvious that probably that there's an underlying feeling throughout law enforcement that they have very little trust in the public center.
I sense many lawsuits coming from something like this. I mean, you can't get away.
Well, how
with
do
that.
you know that they're using it on you? Exactly.
That's true.
But if they find like somebody from ISIS or like you said, a hostage situation, and they credit, hey, we never would have saved the hostage without that radar.
Well, why couldn't they just go to a judge, be like, hey, we have this info that
get a warrant.
This person
Get a
is in
warrant.
this,
Nothing should change. Just like they can't wiretap your home without permission, without a warrant.
Yeah.
If this tool is utilized the right way, then it will work. They can't wiretap. You can't just come into someone's home. So as long as this new technology works in accordance with our laws that protects our civil liberties, then okay, I'm okay with that. But there needs to be some guidelines and some parameters set in place just to make sure that doesn't happen.
Oh yeah.
Because now if you find yourself in a situation where your penis is being held hostage by a crazy individual or female or woman, I mean, dude, have you noticed? I'm really reaching for this segue here.
I'm actually, a radar's not going to help me at that point.
A wife chops off a cheating husband's penis twice. Not once.
Did it grow back? How the fuck did that happen?
He didn't get the point. That's the problem.
Did he have some reptilian DNA that no one knew about, that he just grew it back like a tail?
All you need to do is
if
just
that's the
chop
case,
it
can
off
I
once,
make my penis grow like an extra 2 inches as well? I'm like, hey, cut my penis up. You know, like when you shave, your hair grows back like stronger and longer sometimes? I'm like, hey, cut off my penis, and if you can guarantee that it's also going to grow back and give me an additional 2 inches, I'm game. I'll take the pain.
Oh,
either this guy had Godzilla dick, or or like there was like a slight miss. Like, I got the tip, I got to get the entire thing.
What if he got hard and then it grew a little bit and then he chopped it off? Then
he's Superman.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the scenario is this man was cheating, right, on his wife, supposedly, and so she goes while he's sleeping at night and cuts his penis off, right?
Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah. Now, when this happens, he's rushed to the hospital, and luckily the guy grabbed his penis. He was smart, and he got taken to the hospital with his penis. They sewed it back on, and all was fine. Okay.
No.
So she creeps into the hospital.
Oh, jeez.
And cuts his penis off again. This time, throwing the penis out the window.
Oh.
All right. Threw his genitals out the window. And they cannot find it. They're assuming either a cat or a dog took off with it.
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine your cat brought, you know how they bring home birds? It brings home a penis.
Yeah. They'll be like, hey, what do you got there, Rusty? Come here, boy.
I can understand why my mom told me it's like urban legend why Filipino men cover their genitals when they sleep.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Because it's like... Because Lorena Bobbitt apparently was a Filipino.
No, really?
She was. And Filipino women have this, there's been stories that my mom's told me that they would, like, in the middle of the night, get even with their cheating husbands by cutting their cranks off. So that's why,
listen, there's never, I don't care what a man does. I mean, come on, mutilating a guy's body. Can you imagine if a guy, bitch, you cheated on me, I'm going to cut your vagina up and I'm going to seal it shut. Like, that is just, how does your mind even go there? Do you really get that break shit, burn something, throw his TV out, but, break his favorite items. But the penis, that's just going too far.
His favorite item.
That's true, Marty.
I would, you don't have to, you could extort me even. Extort my penis, that's fine. I will get the point. I will, no more.
I don't know how it goes there.
Do you think he's now scared of that sound?
I would have a phobia of knives or scissors.
He's going through therapy.
Or serious. Like, what if they regrow him one on his arm?
Regrow him? Was he like a scientific experiment? They're going to
They regrow noses.
But that's a lot different than a nose is not an organ. Like, that's like cutting your liver. Can you regrow a liver?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah. You didn't know that? You can cut it off and it can
He must have done something really fucked up.
I'm not a doctor.
He must have
cheated on her.
But he must have done something more than that.
Or what?
Yeah. Because
her mom?
I mean
it had to be someone super close to her.
What could actually drive a woman or any person to actually commit something like that and try to do it twice.
Listen, I've had some effed up relationships. I've never thought of actually abusing or mutilating someone's body over it, ever.
No,
well, apparently something happened to this one.
Shit, maybe
he told her her sex was better. I cheated on you and it was better than you.
Oh, that would do it.
No,
I'm just joking.
Can you even bring yourself to even thinking that?
No, I'm sitting here trying to think like what would piss me off so bad where I would want to cut off a penis.
Maybe
Nothing.
I think to the point where maybe the guy also maybe harmed a child or.
Okay, that's different.
Okay, that's a completely different.
But
scenario.
I wouldn't cut his penis off. I would stick a shotgun deep in his throat.
There you go.
And blow his head off. I don't mess around with that type of shit. You rape a kid, you're gonna die. Yeah. I don't. And guess what? No one will ever find your body.
There
and
you go.
You know what? And come back to the tapes, everybody. Law. You'll never find the body. I don't care.
He's not going to.
I've said it right here on the air, but you'll never find the body.
Okay, but in this case, he must have done something really fucked up.
Or she's
cheating.
crazy.
Yeah, that's a bad combination.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is the thing, but you know what?
Really
this
sucks.
is like an everyday occurrence now. Maggie, Google.
I don't want to.
No, don't look at the images.
Don't bring up images, please. No. I'm sitting behind you.
No, not the images. Not the images. But do me a favor and Google woman or wife chops off penis and just look at the top hits of the searches and just read off how many comes up, because I did it today when I was doing show notes. And it was like 20 plus articles all within the last 3 years. I'm like, that's like the go-to for certain women. Oh, you cheated on me, motherfucker. I'm going to cut your dick off. Like, no.
There would be
what happened to beating somebody up, or what happened to hate fucking? Come on, let's get back to the basics.
I would never sleep. I would just basically stay up for the rest of my life. I get one of those steel corsets or whatever, those armor, that suit of armor. I'd wear a suit of armor to bed for the rest of my life.
Suit of armor.
Yeah, I just wear
a chastity belt.
There you go. Yeah, a chastity belt. I would wear one for the rest of my life. And say, bitch, you ain't gonna touch Mr. Happy.
There's been 3 in the last 5 years.
Oh.
Come on, I came up with a lot more than that.
I put wife chops off penis, and that's what I've gotten. Here, I'll change it to woman.
It's not always wives. Let's not blame the marriage bond for doing this, please. Please. We're good Christians. Yeah, we support marriage.
Someone needs to start selling chastity belts to men.
Yeah.
For God's sakes.
Can you imagine the infomercial for that?
Oh, God. Can you imagine an infomercial for the Ginsu knife nowadays for women? Oh,
geez. Be sure to cut through all that rubbery sexual organs in an instant.
It chops, it slices, it dices.
Yeah. Are you tired of starting to get the cut going and he wakes up?
Oh.
Well, get it off in one swipe with the new Ginzo knife.
Yeah, but going back to that story, she actually had enough cojones to even go back to the hospital and finish the job.
Wasn't he being protected? You would think there's some guards outside his doors,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Why would you allow his wife to enter the hospital room after this happened? Like, to me, guess what if I was this man that lost my penis again, not only would I want this woman to go to jail, I would also sue the police department for allowing her or the hospital to not giving me any security and allowing this woman to come back into the hospital. And listen, this guy's an idiot too, because there's no amount of medicine or drugs that would put me out after this. I would be wide awake. I'm like, listen, do not give me anything to put me under while you're sewing this on. I'm going to remain awake. Nothing's going to beat the pain after my dick got cut off. So I want to stay awake while you sew it on, and I do not want to go to sleep. Give me the complete opposite. Give me something to keep me awake, because I will not sleep.
She talked her way into I just want to say I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. And then as soon as he was all saying, okay, I forgive you.
She probably threatened to cut the cop's dick off.
She was probably waiting.
They're all scared of her.
She's all, see what I got.
Yeah, she's probably waiting for come on, let's hug it out. Let's hug it out.
They heard this and they all kept started running.
We'll hug it out. We'll hug it out. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Hey, read me some of those headlines.
Okay. It's the woman cuts off husband's penis twice.
Hold on. Let me get this going. Let me get some good scary music.
20 years ago today, Lorena Bobbitt cuts off husband's penis.
It's been 20 years?
Yeah.
And that guy became a porn star, so that didn't work out too bad for him.
California ex-wife sentenced for cutting off husband's penis.
You gotta say it a little more diabolical. Come on.
Woman chops off ex-boyfriend's rapist penis with scissors.
Wait, what, ex-husband?
Yeah, or ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
And then jilted wife chopped off husband's penis twice.
Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Angry wife chops off cheating husband's penis.
Oh.
Woman in China chops off cheating husband's penis off.
At least they're not. I mean, are they using scissors? Like, are they at least trying to do it painless?
Some of them have used
Or are they
scissors.
using, like, what are those things that are really jagged? Not a hacksaw.
Chainsaw?
No, a hacksaw, right? Those are
Yeah,
things that
it's
are
a hacksaw.
Yeah, I mean, are they using hacksaws? Because that's just going to leave it a bloody mess. There's no way you're going to fix that.
Or piano wire?
Were they assassinating your dick? They're going to creep up on it from behind? Do a James Bond?
She turns on the music.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine?
It's like a James Bond assassin type.
I just sickened myself. Piano wire? Bad Tony. Bad Tony.
Oh, geez, one of them killed him with a hammer afterwards.
Oh, that was the best part. That was the best part.
Wait, she killed him with a hammer afterwards?
She cut off his penis with a pair of scissors, then flushed it down the toilet, then killed him with a hammer.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was a
Jesus
mercy
Christ.
kill. At that point, it was mercy kill.
Wow.
You know, he probably just said, no, just go ahead and do it. I won't fight. Go ahead. Hit me right in the face with that hammer.
Oh.
They were Chinese.
Can you? How about?
Hey, Tony is onto something.
Yeah. How about?
The
How about?
Filipino men? He said
it the
that.
Asians?
How about that Bond villain Jaws? Bitch, let me see your teeth. Wait a minute. So half of those articles are dealing with Asians?
Oh. And then one cut off his penis and put it in the garbage disposal.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can we move on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I'm done.
See how many is that? That wasn't that. She didn't even do a thorough search. She typed it up and she's just reading what's on Google.
That was
that's
the
what
first
came
page.
up. That's the first page.
That was the first page, guys.
This is an epidemic.
Garbage
Listen,
disposal?
I am no more. Can we please quit with the no more immigration? You know, this is an issue that needs to be addressed. And why is it not addressed? I'm serious.
Because no one wants to piss off the bitch.
I know.
No one wants to lose their penis, okay?
Whatever you say, hon. Whatever you say.
She's all, you better not ever bring it up, ever. Because I will cut your fucking Billy Wheelie, one-eyed wheelie off.
And the sales for chastity belts just went up.
Yeah, that's a business right there. Good job coughing in the mic.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all right. You're on you're on your own track now, so I can just take that right out. So anyways, today we are featuring the music of some more people. This one is from Schedule One presents the Isolation EP from Spanish neurofunk duo Iced Stereo and I want to say QK Hack, featuring two high-octane bass-heavy neurotech rollers that push the boundaries of drum and bass forward and rinse out any dance floor.
I think that's Quick Hack.
Is it Quick Hack?
I think.
That would make sense instead of QK.
Yeah.
Because if it was, is QK short for quick?
Maybe. When I look at that, I'm going Quick Hack.
Quick. I guess if you're, you know what, if you're looking at it in a spelling term, even though it's not the right spell, I guess that would make sense. If you were to phonetically pronounce it, that does make sense.
It's street lingo.
So stupid. Tony, DJ Tony comes back.
Hey.
Where's your jumpsuit? So we'll be featuring their music later in the show, Schedule One. And make sure you follow them on Twitter and Facebook. I'll give out the information shortly. Also, we have a new Rain Man digital app, Tony, which is doing really good. Got some good feedback from it. Just go to your Google Play Store and search Rain Man Digital, and you can take all of our shows on the go, no matter where you go. You have Supernatural: The Crossroads, The Rain Man Show, From the Back to Tank, The Star Wars Show, Critique Revolve, The Movie Show, and then Weird West Radio. So all that on the go, plus our live 24/7 channels, Rain Man 001 and Crossroads 003. So go to Google Play, search Rain Man Digital, and download the app. Very simple. Hopefully it'll be available for iTunes real soon as well.
I'm hoping so too.
Yeah, it's actually, people, the first round of downloaders were from the Supernatural people because we talked to them first about it, and they're loving the app. They said it's so much more simpler than even Stitcher.
Cool.
So, yeah, and I like Stitcher, but Stitcher is a bit confusing, a little bit. Like, it's very hard to follow some of the Like there's a learning curve, especially if you're not you're not tech savvy. I could see where people might be a little confused with it. So this is very simplistic design. It's pretty much one page with all the options on the front page of the app.
Excellent.
So X-Files reboots looks to be exciting news. They're looking to reboot X-Files now because of the success of 24, because the 24 reboot, even though it wasn't necessarily a reboot, it's kind of just I consider it a new season more than a reboot.
Is it true that they're thinking about 24 without Jack Bauer?
Yeah. Well,
I can't picture that.
Yeah, we're going to get into that too. But now, let's get into it now since you brought it up. Now, the 24 reboot, they're discussing the potential of it not being without Jack Bauer or with not having Jack Bauer. And I think that's, if they are going to do that, because this is what, when they announced it, they quickly said that 24 will always be Jack Bauer. They said it will. They won't. The 24 is Jack Bauer. It's synonymous. They belong together. However, we may try something new in the upcoming TV season where we do a special 24 where it focuses on the supporting cast of 24 and we get to know them a little bit and they'll pick.
Okay.
So, but they said this doesn't mean you will not see Jack Bauer in a 24 series. That he will always be 24. So they're saying they're thinking of taking a break from the regular 24 storyline and then kind of dealing with the universe of 24 and telling a story from the point of view of other characters. Now, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
But they need to market it in that way, and I don't think they should probably call it 24. Because what's going to happen is they're going to broadcast and people are going to be like, because people don't read. Most people don't follow the internet for the news on the upcoming, like someone like my mom. She just watches it because it's on the air and she's waiting for it to come on. If they just release it and not have Jack Bauer in it, what you're going to get is a bunch of angry people who don't understand why Jack Bauer's not in it.
No, I think you called it. I think that if they do decide to go this route with 24, I have no problem talking about other characters, but you definitely need to at least have some sort of reference or at least a cameo for a couple episodes with Jack Bauer in it. Yeah, I mean just for consistency's sake.
Yeah.
But
and also, Jack Bauer is 24.
Yeah.
I mean, there are cool characters like the character, the female that was in the last season of 24, the new reboot version. What's her name? The really hot Russian actress that was from Chuck. She was from Chuck, and also the last couple of years of Dexter.
Straczynski or something.
Yeah, Straczynski or something like that. Yeah, she was really good, and I liked her. Like, she was a badass.
She might. So, that would be a good character.
If they were to do something like with her in it, and add somebody else that we've seen, maybe Tony Almeida or someone that people from 24 can really connect to, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would definitely be on board for that, but you also need to set it up. Say, listen, this is going to lead to another season of 24 Jack Bauer. We're just simply taking a break because Kiefer Sutherland doesn't want to be obligated, I don't think, anymore to a television series year in and year out. I think that's the biggest problem they're having. But they're also thinking about doing a movie again as well for 24. So
there you go. Well, then in that case,
I love 24, man.
No, did you like the last season?
Oh, I loved it.
Okay.
I was wondering how they were going to handle it since a lot of things have changed since 24 aired, just politically, and how people view torture and how people get things done from a government standpoint, especially with the files that were released with Snowden and all the things that we're doing. So it was interesting how they were going to tackle it with the drone issue and how some people are against drones. And I liked how they tackled it. It wasn't preachy. It wasn't the producers and the writers getting on a soapbox. It was just kind of showing you how different the political landscape has changed, and they put that into 24. And that was fun.
Well, on those lines then, like you said earlier, what about X-Files? I mean, X-Files reboot, I heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm like going...
I think it's a good idea.
But they're going to bring back Mulder and Scully.
Yep.
So I wonder how it's going to be.
He's already released a statement. David Duchovny said that he will, if they're going to do it, he will come back.
Here's the key question. Chris Carter, is he going to be involved?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the original team coming back to do a new reboot. They said it will be a limited series similar to 24, meaning it'll be a shorter season, like 12 or 13 episodes, and it won't be, meaning the cast won't be obligated to come back year after year. So it'll be a one-year show with a potential for a movie, and then also if they want to, while Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny go out and do other things, they can come back and do another season a couple more years down the road.
Maybe it's a way for them to maybe like a transition, maybe introduce new characters, new scenarios, and then slowly phase out Mulder and Scully or something like that.
Yeah. They tried to do that. Remember, they tried to do that towards the last last 2 years of X-Files. They tried to do that with Doggett and Reyes, remember? Yeah. And I had no problem with those characters, but most of the audience was, 24 was built around Mulder, so it was very hard to see him not be in it. But now, if they were to do something smart, like start this show, reboot it, and do a spinoff that's not reliant on David Duchovny's character, then that would be freaking cool.
Or what about also like it's been a while since we've seen anything X-Files related. Maybe the time off might help.
Yeah,
sort of like
it's going to be huge, man. When it comes out, it's such a it's a cult favorite. It's a cult classic. Everybody has seen it, even people who don't typically like science fiction things. It was a huge success, man. Huge success. For years, it was huge. I mean, it went out on a top of its game. So, I mean, and also, do you remember how scary those episodes were back then? They need to bring that back immediately. Yes, have your conspiracy storyline, but you need to have the original reason why people loved X-Files, which it was scary.
It was dark. There was horror elements. There was sci-fi elements. But yeah, I think that towards the end of the series, there was a lot more conspiracy theory. You're right. A lot more of the overlying, like bees and aliens and that sort of stuff.
Now we do need to go to a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking to Brian Smith from remember Brian Smith? So
yes.
Stupid. Me and him and I are going to be seeing a review. We're going to be seeing 50 Shades of Grey screening.
Oh, whoa! Wait a minute. What? The two of you going to go
together? We're going to hold hands.
Okay?
Really?
Yeah. It's a bromance.
50 Shades of Gay. Okay, we're gonna go see that together, and
hey, whatever floats your bubble, whatever floats your
simmer
bubble.
down.
Okay.
So he'll be calling in here soon, hopefully, and we're gonna go to a quick break. We're gonna listen to the new Schedule One presents the Isolation EP from the Spanish neurofunk duo Ice Stereo and Quick Hack. If we're gonna go by what Tony says it is, we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Rain Man Digital.
Just ring 362436.
Sharpton now shows us just how brilliant he is when he reads the teleprompter.
Tonight is the measure of whether the country begins in the state of Wisconsin a national drive to push back, or whether we have more to go to build a movement of resistance. But resist we must. We must and we will much about that be committed. But resist we must, and we will much about that be committed.
Oh, God, that's funny. Oh, that's good stuff.
Shut up. The show, the Rain Man, the Man Show, the Rain Man Show. Calling it like we see it.
49% geek, 51% douche.
We are featuring the music of Schedule One. Schedule One presents the Isolation EP from Spanish neurofunk duo Ice Stereo and Quick Hack, featuring two high-octane, bass-heavy neurotech rollers that push the boundaries of drum and bass forward and rinse out any dance floor. You can follow Schedule One Recordings on Facebook, facebook.com/Schedule One Recordings. Also on Twitter @Schedule1DNB. 1, 2. All right. Hotel Watchdog. All right. So, Hotel Watchdog. They analyze millions of details to find the very best hotels for you. How do they get you the best bang for your buck? Well, they've made the hunt for hotels much easier by doing the hard work for you. And here's exactly what they do. They analyze prices and values to save you money. They look for hotels that are lower prices than similar hotels nearby. And they only offer you hotels that have earned high scores from TripAdvisor travelers. Also, to make this even better, they combine all these details into one amazing list. Instead of hunting through hundreds of listings, you can now choose your hotel from the best of the best and save both time and money. That's Hotel Watchdog. So when you're planning your next trip, let them do the work for you. Go to rainmanwashere.com and click on the Hotel Watchdog banner.
You're listening to the all-new Rain Man 001 on Rain Man Digital.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Styling.
All right, Rain Man Show. Rain Man Digital, rainmanwashere.com. If you ever miss any part of our shows, you can find us on Stitcher and iTunes. Just search Rain Man Show or Rain Man. Also, new Google Play app. Search us in the Google Play Store. Rain Man Digital. This is my new jam, Tony.
I hate you. This is going to be stuck in my head forever.
Who is this again?
Bruno Mars.
It's Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson.
Oh, yeah.
This sounds... listen, I'm going out on a limb here, and I know Michael Jackson fans are going to get really pissed off here, but Bruno Mars is Michael Jackson-esque in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of the stuff he does. Now, you have people like Usher and Justin Bieber and Justin Timberlake who are all inspired by Michael Jackson, but none of them have the Michael Jackson-esque funk. Like this guy, Bruno Mars, a lot of his stuff is diverse and different, but there's a lot of songs he has that reminds me of that Michael Jackson feel. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I agree with you. I mean, I like that groove, really.
Yeah, I could dance to
At
it.
least you want to dance.
Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop skipping. I'm too hot.
Yeah, coming in at number 1, Bruno Mars. If I had the voice for a countdown show, you better believe I would do it. I'd have so much fun in here by myself. Oh man. So, what do we have here? So there's I was trying not to tackle this issue just because the fact that I want to have fun. I don't want to get angry. I try not to get angry anymore, but it was sent to me and somebody was surprised that, I think that was on Stitcher, they commented on it. I could be wrong. They were surprised that I didn't, I haven't talked about the American Sniper.
Have you seen it?
Issue that's going on. No, I have not had a chance to see it yet. I will see it. I want to see it. I'm a big Clint Eastwood fan. I'm not a big Bradley Cooper fan. I mean, I like him, but I'm a big Clint Eastwood fan. So even before all this controversy, I wanted to see. I'm like, Clint Eastwood's good. I see everything he does, period. I don't care what the content's about or what the story's about. I'm going to go see a Clint Eastwood movie. I think he's a fantastic talent, a fantastic director. So... But I was trying to stay away from this topic because it's so heated right now, and it gets me angry. But, I don't understand. And of course, we have people like Michael Moore who are attention grabbers. He's a has-been documentary producer that hasn't done shit in almost 10 years, and he has to grab at headlines every year or so by saying something outlandish. And this was that. People were defending him, saying, well, he never mentioned American Sniper in his tweet. I'm like, yes, he never mentioned it, but he alluded to it. And then if you went to his Facebook post, he actually did mention it. And of course, everybody in this country, that's a beautiful thing about this country, right? That you can say what you want with no repercussions necessarily. You can have the freedom of speech and say what you want and how you feel about things. And you know what? I don't get mad at people expressing their opinion, because many things are subjective and many things are, who am I to tell you how you should feel? However, that being said, I saw a post on Facebook that made me really upset, and it took me everything in my power not to comment on this person's post.
Upset enough to cut off someone's penis?
So dumb. But they said, they were a person from another country, and they said, you know what, I was so happy, when I moved to this country years ago. I was excited about all the possibilities and the acceptance of the American people and how they accept immigrants. And then we have a movie like American Sniper that glorifies a murderer. That's what she wrote. Jeez. And why is it everybody is glorifying this murderer? He's a murderer. And then she said, also, I can't believe of all the anti-Islamic things. I mean, this guy was known for saying, horrible slang words towards Muslims. And I'm going to tackle all that. Okay. First off, you're at war. This man was at war. You don't think he's calling people towelheads? You're at war. But you're at war. You don't think you got to have a little bit of hatred towards the people you're effing killing? You got to justify it in your brain or you're going to go insane. These people are... Now, without the justification, you don't have to justify much. These people, I don't care what you say, but the people that the United States government is killing, air quotes, for the most part, they are our enemies. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not going to tackle the whole CIA being involved and they're the ones who stir the pot up and they're the ones who train that. We all know that. Okay? Let's not talk about the obvious. Let's talk about the fact that whether or not our government is involved with stirring this pot or that we train them ourselves doesn't take away the fact that these people are blowing up women, children, people who are have nothing to do with wars. And people could say, hey, you know what? You do the exact same thing when you drop drones on people. It's a big difference. You're blowing up people that don't believe in your God. It's a big difference between that and someone going into a newspaper or magazine office and shooting people and murdering people because they wrote a satirical article or a comic on your God. Is there not a big difference between... And people don't see that. We, the American people, or the American government, we have our issues. We're not going into a Muslim, newspaper and fucking blowing it up because you're spouting anti-propaganda. We're not going to this woman who wrote this Facebook post. We're not going to your home and shooting you because you called the American Sniper guy, Chris Kyle, a murderer. And the thing that's the silliest thing of this whole entire post can be summed up in one sentence. You're right. You're an immigrant, right? You came to this country. Okay. The reason why you're able to come to this country and get on Facebook and bash the very people who paved the way for you to be in this country and spout your anti-American bullshit on Facebook. The person you're calling a murderer is the reason why you're doing what you're doing. You're allowed in this country because of the people you're calling murderers. Can you not see that? Take a step back from your religious antics and look at the common sense of it and say, I'm talking shit about a man that I may not agree with his choices, but the sacrifice of his family, his kids, and his own sanity was sacrificed so you can have the rights that you have in this country. That every immigrant and every single one of us are allowed to do because of this so-called murderer.
Can I just say, go home? Go back to your country?
And if you don't like it, then quit taking advantage of all of the American way. You don't like it, then why are you here? You know why you're here? Because this country is the best country in the fucking world to live in. That is why, I challenge yes, there's better economies, there's better decision makers in some countries, but this country and the possibilities that this country gives people there is no competition. That's why. Why do you think everybody in this world wants to come to the United States of America?
No, I mean, you hit it on the spot. I mean, you don't find Americans trying to run away from this country. You find people, trying to get into this country.
Can you imagine, Tony, going to Mexico? Let's go to Mexico tomorrow, Tony. Let's go to Mexico. To
visit?
No. We're going to go to Mexico. We're going to live there for free. We're going to do nothing. We're going to go, and then we're going to bitch. Why is there a Mexican flag above this consulate here? Why is there a Mexican flag in the schools? Why? Because you're in fucking Mexico. Am I going to complain about it when I'm in another country? Am I going to complain about their laws? No, because I'm living a privileged life in that said country.
Yeah.
It's no different than the Mexicans. And again, let me preface this. I am Mexican. That I'm completely angry with the Mexicans that they're in California just last year, going to the schools, the high schools, and burning the American flag just because. You're in this country, chances are those people burning that flag illegally, and you're entitled. You feel like you're entitled to burn the American flag?
And they're the same people that are complaining, they're getting stuff that they never would have imagined getting in their home countries.
Yeah.
That's just mind-blowing.
Exactly. And I'm not a patriotic person. Maggie, you know me best. Am I a patriotic person?
Not at all.
Not even a little bit. But I do have common sense.
Yeah.
And common sense tells me that I'm going to support the American troops for the most part. Do I support the administration behind some of our horrible wars? No. Do I think some of it is completely outlandish, and does it infuriate me that we're involved in so many skirmishes across the world? Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean I don't support the people who lay down their lives so that we can live the life that we have. So I can get on the airwaves right now and fucking bitch.
Yeah, there you go.
Why?
I mean,
and he's not a. And I'm not even going to talk about the murdering aspect, because you can split hairs all day. Is he a murderer? As far as I know,
he was doing a job.
And you know what? And I heard on an interview with Bradley Cooper where he discussed all his entire research into this sniper. And hold on, before I get into that, the sad thing is this: Bradley Cooper, the first thing before this gained all this controversy, the first thing he said was that I hope people don't think this is a pro-war movie or a anti-Muslim or anything. This movie has no message except it's a character study on a soldier and the lives, the psychological effects it has on the lives of the families of these soldiers. And he's all, that's what the movie's about. He was hoping this didn't have a message. He didn't want to get into the realm of, pro this and pro that. He just wanted to tell a movie, tell a story about a man. So these people are looking at this and grabbing at it. And again, I haven't seen the movie. Okay, and I'll say that. I haven't seen the movie. But from everything that I've read about the movie, the reviews, most people, if you have an objective, if you're looking at it objectively, they're saying that the movie's pretty straightforward. It isn't really glamorizing anything. It's showing the detrimental effects of war.
Exactly.
If anything, it's anti-war, is what a lot of people are saying. It shows what it does to people and how we should appreciate what these people do. Now, again, if you want to call this guy a murderer, do you know the hoops you need to jump through before you shoot somebody as a sniper? And that's another thing that was actually discussed. There are so many hoops, checks and balances before you go out on mission. You don't just go out, crawl through the desert, and shoot miscellaneous people. You actually have to have witnesses there. So, and that's my thought process on it. I don't really have an opinion on the movie itself because I haven't seen it, but just on what people are saying. And it really depresses me how hateful people are of the country that they're living in. You are benefiting from this country. Why are you so hateful about it?
Because, like in their original home countries, if they were to come out, speak out just like that, what they're doing here in the States, they would be executed by the end of the day.
Yeah.
They would be the government would be knocking down at their door. The secret police would be coming in, taking them away from their families. Even if they mention I don't really like the way our president was dressing today, or he's like a dumbass or whatever like that, or like even the slightest critique in their home countries, they'll be taken away in the middle of the night. Here in the United States,
yes, there's conspiracy theories saying that happens here as well. But there are, let's not be naive here. There are dark governments working within our government. But for the most part, the people that are working within our government are good people. They're just like you and me. But Dean Cain, which is funny, Dean Cain, if you guys remember him, Superman, he slams Michael Moore and Seth Rogen. He's, I want to kick your ass, which is funny. Now, to defend Seth Rogen, he didn't really say anything wrong, and I kind of feel bad. He just got kind of picked up on at first I was like, Seth Rogen, why are you saying anything, man? Like, actors are in a slippery slope sometimes. Like, why are you saying anything? And according to some reports, Seth Rogen, and I read his tweets, he didn't say anything bad about American Sniper. I do think he was being cynical a bit and kind of being snarky. He made a post kind of basically saying, hey, American Sniper reminds me of a segment that would be on Inglourious Bastards. Much like that scene about the German soldier that, remember, and he said it's like that Nazi segment where the Nazi guy was just blasting people. He was kind of making fun of the movie.
The timing was bad.
Right. And he was making fun of the movie I guess he was putting the movie down, saying it was kind of simplistic. It's just a guy shooting people. Because you remember how stupid that movie was in Inglourious Bastards? It was a guy stuck in a tower just shooting people the entire 2 hours.
Exactly.
I think he was just kind of making a silly joke, and it got kind of swept up into being kind of anti-American Sniper, and that wasn't the case. And he actually came on shows already and kind of said, I never said nothing about American Sniper, I was making a joke. I think you nailed it, Tony. I think he I think it was bad timing because of what Michael Moore just said as well.
If you think about it also in this sort of context, before all these comments by Michael Moore and Seth Rogen came out, American Sniper was still, being critically acclaimed. It was an anticipated movie. It was probably going to bring in some good numbers from the box office. Right. The controversy that sprung up with Moore and Rogen, and I know that they were trying to maybe, or in Moore's case it was more or less trying to get people to say don't support this movie or whatever.
Yeah.
It instead made people go out and say, hey, you know what? This guy's saying that this movie's bad and, sends a bad message. I'm going to go see the movie. Yeah. Even though I wasn't going to go see the movie. Sort of like the same thing which happened, and I don't want to compare the two movies, right, but The Interview, and all the hype that came up with that. I mean, the hype on that movie was 10 times more. Right. But still, going back to American Sniper, it was a critically acclaimed movie even beforehand. I mean, the few preview screenings went very well, and it would have done pretty well at the box office. But I think that with the controversy that comes out and people still talking and criticizing about this movie, instead, the public is still going to say, okay, I'm going to go see it. I'll give you an example real quick. My dad, when he was here in town, wanted to see American Sniper before he left. Right. And then, and I even asked him about the movie. I said, what did you think? I said, it's all right. It was more or less, and the thing that he said is it really dealt with more or less on how the soldiers came back from war and how they were trying to deal with the PTSD.
Yeah.
I think Rogen got more backlash because of The Interview, for real, because the soldiers made him be able to put out that movie and say those things and do all that. So for him to say something bad about the soldiers, I think people were like, oh no, we just protected you, and so why are you saying those things?
Yeah, it kind of got, and I kind of feel bad for Seth because it did exactly that. It kind of backfired on him, and people are, and I said this the other day on Facebook, 90% of people are, 88%, I posted this link. 88% of people that read articles, or don't read the article, they read the headline.
Headline readers.
88% are people, they're just headline readers. They don't even read the article. Because there was an article, which I thought was funny, that someone posted on Facebook, and I actually defended Clint Eastwood, which I felt like a schmuck even defending someone famous, but it was it was asinine. She posted something saying, Clint Eastwood threatens to shoot and kill Michael Moore. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, come to my house and I'll kill you with it. So I'm like, what the hell? And it kind of sounded vaguely familiar. So I'm like, so I clicked on the article, and the article was dated from 2005.
Oh, jeez.
And it was at the Oscars, where Michael Moore won his Oscar for Columbine, Bowling for Columbine, and Clint Eastwood won his for $1 Million Baby. Yeah. And Clint Eastwood was on there and as his acceptance speech, because that year was all about Michael Moore and all about Clint Eastwood. So they're kind of like being funny with each other. And he made a comment saying, hey, he thanked everybody for his award. Then at the very end, he said, and Michael, if you come to my home with a camera, I'm going to shoot you. And he said it with a very Clint Eastwood. So I remember it. I watched it. And he was and he had a chuckle. He had that Clint Eastwood, swagger, esque way he said it. It was a joke, and everybody laughed. The entire the audience laughed, and Michael Moore laughed like a lot. It was funny. So, but the article was because it was slanted. It was slanted. It was a headline trying to somebody probably republished the article and said, "Oh, look at it." And then this woman obviously didn't read the article. She said she did.
Yeah, bullshit.
Bullshit. This makes me even more mad at Clint Eastwood. Not only did that whole invisible chair fiasco happen last year, but now he's threatening to kill somebody. She said, and now.
She's just trying to spark.
So I posted on her article, I said, hey, you realize, and I was very nice because I'm not rude to people on Facebook. And I said, you realize that this article, did you read this article? Because it's actually dated from 2005 and it was actually a joke. And she saw, Michael, I did read it, and but I fail to see the humor in somebody threatening someone, even in a funny way. And I said,
liberal.
I don't even know if it has anything to do with being liberal, more than the fact that just not having a sense of humor. Like, have a sense of humor.
Liberals probably don't have that much sense of humor.
Come on. So
no, but on the flip,
well, hold on. Then I said, honestly, can you please enlighten me on what makes it funny? And I said, yeah, sure. So I said, what's funny about it is the way it was delivered. The delivery, it was very Clint Eastwood-esque, and it was funny, and everybody in the audience thought it was funny, and so did Michael Moore. I'm like, I think it's funny that this article is basically being put out again just so that people can get traffic views because it's a timely, or it's a hot topic right now. And how many other people just posted that? Just the headline.
Yeah. No, I mean, also on like I'm just towards the liberals, but on the flip side, I've noticed that a channel like Fox News, they're constantly bringing in all these friends of Chris Kyle and inciting them, and it's like all
because it's a headline, and
it's their biggest headline. I'm like going, okay, we get the picture, get over it.
The whole other side. You want to talk about the extreme left, then we got the extreme right.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't help their point by doing things like that.
No, exactly.
It's very transparent.
It's both sides, the extreme left and the extreme right. I mean, they're just like trying to take advantage of the situation.
So Dean Cain says he actually tweets to Michael Moore. He says, disparage. Am I saying that right? Why does it sound wrong to me?
Disparage.
Yeah, disparage Chris Kyle to my face. We'll see who is a coward. And he put #disrespect, #coward. So, and there was no response. Michael Moore didn't respond to Superman.
That's because he was collecting kryptonite.
So stupid. And then he responds to Seth Rogen. He's all Seth. And he was actually very respectful to Seth. He's all, Seth, I like your films, but right now I want to kick your ass. Chris is an American hero, period. Go to war, then we'll talk. Do you think when he tweeted this, he put his uniform on and his cape?
Probably. That would be so funny if you put Dean Cain and Seth Rogen in the same ring and Seth Rogen kicks his ass.
Oh, that would be
I would be laughing my ass off.
Dude.
I would be rooting for it. Seth, you're Dean's right.
I'm sensing a parody movie right there. Seth Rogen, Michael Moore are the ultra villains.
That would be so funny,
and
though.
Dean Cain being Superman. That'd be funny if they can squash the beef and do an SNL skit of that. That would be fucking brilliant.
I would be laughing my ass off. I mean, yeah, I'm not defending Moore or Rogen, but to see either one of them kick Dean Cain's ass, I would pay money to see that one. I would be like, fuck WrestleMania. Yeah, this is the next best pay-per-view.
I agree.
Again, extreme left, extreme right.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello?
So stupid. All right. Well, you know what? Can you send a message to Brian and see if he's ready to call? Do you mind? Maggie, help me out.
He's online.
Okay. You know what?
You want me to send him?
Let's go to a quick break. It'll be a very quick break. We'll play the next track from Ice Stereo and Quick Hack. We'll be right back, and we'll come back with Brian. We'll be right back.
Don't go nowhere. The Rain Man will be right back.
Spectral dinosaurs, ultimate evolutionary progress, bloody frontier, attacking tougher and tougher and tougher.
listening to the all-new Rain Man 001 on Rain Man Digital.
This game right here is rough as fuck.
All right, Rain Man Show. RainManWasHere.com. You know you like that old school. Makes you want to sea walk. Do you know what sea walking is, Tony? Crip walk. Listen, I'm from the hood, Tony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got out of the hood. But I'm gangster.
That's impossible, Mike. No one gets out of the hood.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody gets out of the hood ever.
You could get out of the hood, but the hood never leaves you.
No.
Oh.
All right. So getting Brian on the phone to discuss this 50 Shades of Grey didn't work out. Because I have a whole new system in here, once again, I've upgraded some equipment. I haven't quite got the phone system worked out. So hopefully next week we can talk to him.
That's too bad, because I was looking forward to a bromance regarding this 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I thought it would be a funny discussion, but we'll talk about it soon. I mean, the screening isn't for another, I'd say, about 2 weeks, so maybe we'll get him on next week in the studio and we'll talk about it. But the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing is just nonsense anyways. Like, it is, first off, I think it's funny because it's being touted as being promoted, I should say, as a Valentine's Day romantic movie.
I told you.
And I was dumbfounded by that because, I mean, first off, you're going to have these kids, young people. Yes, it's rated R, but that doesn't stop. You have these young people, young couples who aren't really aware of the 50 Shades of Grey thing. And they're going to go in there thinking it's a romance movie, and they're going to see some chick get plowed anally. Like, that is, I mean, listen.
Nothing says romance than being. Yeah.
Last I checked, I don't think anal sex is considered romantic. Yes, you could put it into the lovemaking arsenal, but you're not gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna have a lovemaking night tonight, and guess what? I'm gonna do it anally. Like, you don't. That isn't a romantic setup. The scenario,
on the setup.
The scenario of 50 Shades of Grey isn't a romantic scenario. If you know the story, it's about a guy who dominates a woman and kind of opens up this woman, kind of turns her out almost.
No.
So, I mean, yeah.
Literally?
You know what I mean.
He allows
Gets
her
gangster
to
talk.
explore her
Sock
sexuality.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a romantic story unless they're changing the premise of the book and making it more romantic.
Unless it's like, may I have anal sex, please, with flowers?
Yeah. Rose petals from the doorway directly to her asshole.
Yeah, there you go.
Nothing says wanting anal sex than rose petals.
Whispering sweet nothings. Whispering sweet nothings. Now hold on.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I don't know.
That is so bad.
Well, I'm not a poet here. Let's Tony, you're the anal poet. What's a good
roses?
one?
Roses are red. Violets are blue. Time for anal sex.
Because I love you.
Yes, there you go.
Here we go.
Roses are red.
And now,
violets are.
And now, it's time for poetry with Tony Sabal.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. Anal sex is on the menu tonight. No fisting for you.
That's so funny.
That was wonderful.
Can you do messages like that every week?
Like, can you imagine? Like
and
you
now,
get the
romantic
you get those
thoughts from Tony Sabal.
Like those little candy things, like those little hearts.
Yeah.
Where it says, like I love you. Instead, it'll be like you pick up the little heart, and all of them says, "Anal sex is on the menu tonight."
They make porno ones like that. I think at the Fascinations you can get the hearts with with suggestive
sexy thoughts.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Nothing.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I made a post on Facebook about the 50 Shades of Grey being a romantic movie, and I think I had like 100 likes in a matter of 20 minutes agreeing like, yeah, that's nonsense. You know, most people I think there's been a backlash on 50 Shades of Grey because all these people that were defending it are now agreeing with my comments saying it's stupid. You know,
I think they just want to please you, Mike. They're scared.
So?
Yeah.
They're hoping I become Christian Grey.
Yeah, Mr. Grey.
They say that this 50 Shades of Grey is nothing more than porn for the average housewife.
It's porn they say it's porn for people who don't want to say they watch porn.
It's softcore porn.
It is softcore porn.
It's Showtime or
Cinemax.
like Cinemax. Yeah, there you go.
I think it's going to be another Magic Mike moment. Basically, they're going to take their wives, girlfriends, or whatever in hopes that they get so turned on that they're going to finally get laid.
Yeah. The sad thing is that someone actually posted that on my page. No, someone posted saying, "Well, you know what? Why don't you give these 50 Shades of girls? Why don't you give these 50 Shades of Grey female readers a chance, and you might end up liking it." Meaning, it's that thing that I said a year and a half ago on the radio, where listen, if I get to the point in a relationship where my significant other needs to watch another man on TV in order to want to have sex, that's a problem. Now, if porn is part of your arsenal and it's something you do for fun and you guys watch it together and then you guys get all worked up and that's different. But if you get lucky because your woman went to go watch Magic Mike or 50 Shades of Grey, I don't want your vagina. I don't want it. I should do the trick. I should be the one that turns you on. And can you imagine if you told a woman that? If you said, hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead and watch this porno real fast. I'm going to get myself worked up, and then I'm going to be ready for you. Do you think that would go over well?
No, it's like
Maggie, a lot of divorces.
Maggie, if I said that, if I said, hey, you know, let's say we were going on a date and we were going to have sex, whatever, and I said, hey, let me go ahead and watch this porno here first so I can get worked up, and then you and I can proceed to have sex.
Yeah, no, never.
Depends on the title.
Wouldn't that be a problem?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
It's
That's a white male problem.
The problem is that you're going to have a bunch of females that go to like this 50 Shades of Grey. They'll come out of the movie saying, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
This is how romance.
Listen, you want me to plow you in the ass? All right.
I remember when it first came out that they had a whole...
They're going to be bringing the scissors out.
They were selling anal beads and like taping the 50 Shades of Grey name on them. And it's like so selling... Stupid. It's a selling point, and paddles.
That's 50 Shades of Brown.
Like, all kinds of sex toys. But
depending on how deep you went.
Yeah,
so
different shades of brown in your penis.
It's suddenly okay to explore these options now because someone wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Pat Robertson is at it again. We all know who that lovely gentleman is.
Is he still alive?
Surprisingly.
Barely. Now, he's the guy. Do you remember a couple, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, actually the three of us, I think, where we were discussing how Pat Robertson, a woman, called into his show, from the 700 Club, and said, hey, my son's experiencing stomach aches on a daily basis, and he immediately jumped to the fact that the son is possessed by a demon, alluded to the fact that he probably watches radar movies and plays violent video games, and this is why he's being controlled by demons and why his stomach ache hurts.
That's
who let this quack on the airwaves? Like, listen, if you think, okay, come on. Chris Kyle fought for the right for this quack to be on the radio or be on the airwaves.
That's early signs of dementia.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's early signs of dementia.
Listen, if the American Sniper allowed this guy to be on the air, guess what? I'm against the American Sniper now.
Oh, there. No, I mean, honestly, I think.
Well, hold on. He's in the air. He's on the news again, Tony.
Uh-huh.
He now says, Pat Robertson, so ignorant.
Someone cut off his penis?
So dumb. He says gays will die out because they don't reproduce.
They make brown babies.
So stupid. Listen. Okay, first off, he obviously doesn't know how humans work. Okay.
But it's a choice,
so
Mike.
He's trying to say that if two gay people...
trying.
He's saying that basically he's saying that like almost like they're animals. Like, you have two animals have sex together and they'll have the same type of animal. So because gay people can't reproduce, there will be no gay people. Not realizing the fact that people are born that way or even turn that way later in life, whatever you want to say. So his reasoning is eventually gay people die out because they can't reproduce. Do you get the stupidity of this? Like, it makes me want to
shake your head.
No. Well, yes, but it makes me want to get this guy an IQ test because the stupidity of that comment is mind-numbing.
No, it's just uneducated.
Here we go. I have the audio here.
He's uneducated. He's bigoted. He's prejudiced. He's
everything.
And with a touch of dementia, which means he's one of the old people.
I would love for now. Not that I want more kids to be raped, but I'd love for this guy to come out in the news as some freaking kid toucher.
He probably is.
Yeah. It's because he was watching too many rated R movies and he was possessed. He would take that.
What would happen if
soda with caffeine?
What would happen if all of a sudden that a story comes out that he was caught with a gay black prostitute?
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Or a
who's 12?
Yes, gay black prostitute, 12 years old. Bingo, that's the trifecta.
Yeah, and I think his wife would be probably whipping out the scissors.
Oh,
how dare you embarrass me?
That's a painful sound now.
Maybe he needs to. Maybe he needs to read 50 Shades of Grey himself.
Here's the audio.
Crystal writes, "I've been in church all my life with my family. We are not allowed to date. The only ones in my church that are married already knew their partners before coming into church. It is treated as a sin to show interest or have a mutual understanding in church with the opposite sex."
And this is why you have so many sexually repressed people within the church because of this line of thinking.
Most of the people in the church are frustrated because we're getting older and no one is getting married. We pray about the issue, but it seems like it is bouncing back. What should I do?
You should probably date because the only way you're going to meet somebody is by dating. Now, if you want to abstain from sex because you think it's a sin, then do that. But how are you going to meet somebody? I mean, if you want to go from the... Okay, listen. If you want to believe in the Bible says go out, reproduce, and subdue and fill the earth. You're not going to do that by not dating.
Yeah.
You know, those who are homosexual...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Why does he say that?
Just the way that he starts off, it's like creepy. I'm like, going,
creepy.
Don't touch me.
Wow, that's super creepy.
The way he started, it's like creepy.
Yeah.
It's like, God.
This had nothing to do with homosexuals.
I know. I'm like,
nothing to do.
Oh, my God.
But he says it so sexually.
will die out because they don't reproduce. You know, you have to have...
Could someone just shoot this guy in the head?
What did they agree with him?
Heterosexual sex to reproduce. Same thing with that church. It's doomed. It's going to die out because this is the most nonsensical thing I have heard in a long time. This is absurd. God has made us to be in families. God has created a desire of men and women to have attraction to the opposite sex so that they will reproduce and have children.
And if not
fisting. I were you, I'd get out of that church as fast as I could, cast the dust of it on your feet, shake off the dust, and run.
Yeah, so...
Wow.
Poor grandpa.
At least he had something, factual there. He's like, hey, leave the church at least.
Here,
I just love how it goes down to homosexuals. Like, ask me a question, Tony. Ask me a question. Here, let me get some music here.
Ask you a question?
Yeah, just ask me a question.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, Mike, are you concerned, with the recent Sony hacks that maybe future movies, if they are offensive to some either national or international leaders, that they might try to go through extreme circumstances to make sure that they censor such content?
Well, let me get my old man voice. Well, Tony, let me just stop you right there, young man. The homosexuals are the real hackers. I mean, is it not what they do when they penetrate another man's ass is, in a sense, hacking? They're illegally doing sodomy and illegally hacking into another man's ass? It's really the homosexuals.
Oh, saith the Bible.
What's the next question you have, young sir?
Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Seattle or New England?
Well, if it wasn't for the homosexuals with deflated footballs.
Okay.
Is that a serious question? Next question, please. You should already know it's the homosexuals. Baggy, give me a question.
What's your favorite color?
Well, the homosexuals are inadvertently drawn to the color pink. So I do not like that color. I would have to go with green.
Brown.
No, brown is inadvertently attached to a gay man's asshole. Next question, please. Maggie.
Where is your favorite place to eat in Phoenix?
Well, the homosexuals like beef. So I try to stay away from anywhere that serves beef. Fish reminds me of a woman's pussy. So I go eat seafood whenever I can. Tony, you have another question before I sign off and shoot myself in the head?
Yes. Who do you prefer, Sam or Dean?
Well, the homosexuals like both of them pretty little men from that homosexually written Supernatural with the subtext that's obviously homosexual. I do refrain from watching shows like that.
What about the rest stops?
And that is it. No more questions for today. That's how stupid that is. I mean, and he does this time and time again, except not all of his stuff, his comments make, news, except when they're really stupid like that.
He usually comes out around election time, doesn't he? Like,
is he running for president? God help us.
He tried to run for president, but I know that he usually...
Wait, he did?
I guarantee you, if there's a God, Tony, there is a God, he hates Pat Robertson.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a blight on humanity.
Oh.
Easily.
Why don't we put Pat Robertson and Al Sharpton in the same room with a tub of oil?
Oh, man. All right, you know what? On that note, we do need to end the show today, Tony. Thank you for coming into the studio today. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you having me here.
Yes, and of course, Maggie. Now, next week, we will have a new person in studio. A new female host will be joining the ranks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't know her.
Okay, it's going to be a surprise?
No, it's going to be, remember Kaylee?
Yes.
From Western X? She will be joining us to do the news segment every week. She's very excited. She jumped at the opportunity and was very happy that I offered her the position on the show.
Oh, excellent.
So
excellent choice.
She'll be starting in the show next week.
Fantastic choice, sir.
Oh, fantastic.
Fantastic
It's a good choice because the homosexuals would not choose him. They would choose another male to be in the studio. All right, that's it for the show. Thank you. Rain Man Show, RainManWasHere.com. And don't forget the new app on Google Play, Rain Man Digital. Later.